Hello and welcome to Muay Thai Grand Prix. The date is June the 5th, 2021. We are here live at the Curtin Stadium for an awesome night of great Muay Thai action. My name is Adam Parry. I'll be your commentator for the show. And joining me on the call as well is Kaylee Reese, a six-time world champion. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me again.
Absolute pleasure. Now we're kicking things off with two debutantes having their first match here tonight. We've got Lenny Wilson fighting out of the blue corner and Zepplen Marrwick out of the red corner. Very keen to see what these young guys have to offer here today.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. We've spoken about this before on past shows where the level of experience that these guys have, even though they've had zero fights, they'll probably show that they're a lot more experienced than that in the ring due to the fact that they've come from pretty good gyms. They've got good trainers, a lot of history behind the trainers, so that tends to be passed down through to their fighters, and they're fighting well beyond what they actually show on paper.
Yeah, no doubt about that. We're going to be here for 3 2-minute rounds in the super flyweight division. Of course, Lenny Wilson fighting out of a Bailey fight team, and from AMMA is Zepplen Marrwick. Only a 2-year age difference between the two of them, and a centimetre the difference in height. So hopefully we've got ourselves a pretty decent even matchup here to kick off tonight's show. Fighters sealing the ring. We've got a lot of good things happening here tonight, including we'll have a matchup for the WBC light heavyweight world title. Cannot wait for that one. Should be an absolute belter of a matchup that we'll see later here this evening. Yeah,
I think that's the fight everybody's sort of waiting for at the moment. George he's got that style where it's very hard to beat, but Charlie's also very awkward too, and he's a very, very tough opponent for George.
As for right now, both fighters in the middle, getting ready to go as we kick off Muay Thai Grand Prix. Thank you for joining us at livecombatsports.com.au. And don't forget to check out all things MTGP at MuayThaiGP.com or on all forms of social media at Muay Thai Grand Prix Australia. Very exciting to see what a couple of debutantes have to offer.
It's good to see Roy Wills centering too. He just had his last fight a few weeks ago on domination. Just up there. It's his first time back in the ring as not a fighter.
Very nice, very nice. How did he go?
He won first round knockout actually.
Oh, fantastic.
Not really that fantastic because it's from someone from my gym.
Oh.
But it's great for Roy. It's great for Roy.
Okay, we'll let it slide then.
A good finish to his career.
Okay, here we go. Round number 1 of 3. Once again, Zepplen Marrwick in the red corner, and we have Lenny Wilson in the blue. Lenny Wilson's been training for 2 to 3 years prior to this here tonight, his first fight here, so...
You can see he's got both ties in the corner too, so it's going to be interesting to see if he comes out with that traditional tie style.
Very keen to see. Bell has rung, we are underway, here we go. Kicks coming out nice and early so far. Ooh. Nice cross there by Lenny.
See can already see now that both boys are really controlled. They're picking their shots. They're not just coming in throwing sort of haymakers and throwing wild shots. They're very controlled with what they're throwing, which is really good to see in two fighters that haven't fought before.
That's right. It's great composure, great calmness from both fighters here.
And that just comes from having good gyms and good trainers too.
With lots of shin kicks here. Going low, but Zepplen looked like he wanted to lead in there with a big knee. No avail though. Solid flurry there by Marrwick.
You can see Zeppelin's got that stance where he's a little bit more solid in his stance, whereas Lenny tends to have that a little bit more of a bounce around and moving and cutting his corners a little bit.
That's right. Well, now definitely has himself on the front foot. Also, guess it's quite common to see a bit of a feeling out process. These two just going right at it, a little bit of clinch there.
Yeah, had a good hand around the back of the neck then.
Good kick there. Oh, Lenny Wilson, some solid kicks.
I'd like to see Lenny when he throws that jab out. He's throwing the jab out and it's coming back down to his waist, which is leaving that side of the face quite open. So you see there, it's sort of wide open there for the right kick to come right up to the face.
Some great insight there for us. Thank you, Kaylee. Oh, solid knee to the midsection there by Marrwick, who's got Lenny Wilson in the corner there. He's got him on the ropes and the bell rings.
Great round by both boys. I mean, first time in the ring. 10 years ago, two first-timers would have been throwing absolute haymakers. You know, the technique wasn't as good, but now these days you could say that these guys have had a couple of fights, you know.
Yeah, very impressive first round by both competitors there. Round number one, of course, brought to you by Conpebre. They're bringing their Chilean street cuisine to Muay Thai Grand Prix here tonight. They also have their food trucks out and about all throughout Perth. You can check them out on Facebook at various locations, or if you'd like to hire them for future events. Of course, both corners getting instructions from their trainers. What would be your advice to any of the fighters in their first match here after that first round?
What I saw then from Zepplen, he looked quite like he was going to be quite good in the clinch. I would say probably for him to move forward and lock on and see how he goes in that clinch. And with Lenny, I'd like to see him keep that hand up after throwing that jab, and so he's coming down very low and leaving the side of his face very open to be kicked or punched.
Round two underway here, and neither competitor mucking about, going straight back to it. Wilson there with a solid shot to the face. Here we go.
So he's got that nice top lock around the head, just slipping out of it.
Good shot there by Wilson.
It's kind of that position where when you get that those hands around the back of the neck, you sort of don't want to let that go. It's a position, a strong position, to pull that head down to obviously then knee to the body or to the head.
And you'll notice that Lenny Wilson's got blood coming from his nose right now as well. We have first blood in the first bout for the day. Marrwick really lost his footing there for a bit, but composed himself yet again. Wilson definitely more aggressive in this second round.
Wilson, when he throws, he's throwing from a bit of an unorthodox position, but he's landing. He's quite accurate with what he's throwing, but he's throwing from a different position.
Impressive to see here as both been shaping up.
He's throwing and moving, so if I was Zepplen, I'd definitely be pushing forward and trying to lock onto that head guard and locking on for the clinch.
Oh, here we go, he's clinched up. No, breaks the clinch. Ooh, big shots by Wilson. Marrwick not going to back down. Ooh, big jumping knee strike with an elbow to follow up by Marrwick.
I think Marrwick definitely needs to be a little bit busier in the clinch. He's clinching on, but he's waiting too long to throw that first knee. When you get that clinch on, you don't want to wait too long and allow the other person to throw throw too many knees before you. You've got to get that clinch on, and you've got to be that person to initiate and throw that first knee. Otherwise, it can be you get a couple of knees and there's two in front of you.
It was an impressive second round there, all thanks to Con Pembrey. Definitely more aggressive action from Lenny Wilson there. He came out firing.
Yeah, he was landing some good shots. Like I said before, he was quite unorthodox. He's throwing from sort of different positions, but what he's throwing is actually landing.
Definitely got a bit of a bloody nose going there. Does that tend to fire you up a little bit when you see your own blood in a fight?
My own blood in a fight. That's a good thing. I have actually. I did get my nose broken in a fight. It doesn't. I don't think it fired me up. I couldn't breathe very well, so it was a bit concerning for the first little bit. But yeah, I think you just got to block it out, to be honest, because if you see it, you tend to react to it in either a good or bad way.
There you go. Some great inside word there, Kaylee. Thank you. Here we go. The third and final round. Lenny Wilson in the blue and Zepplen Marrwick in the red.
Some really nice leg kicks there straight away thrown by Lenny.
That's right, Marrwick charged with the elbows and forearms as well early on. He's still running blood by Wilson. Marrwick some big kicks in the midsection. He's got those long legs. Definitely going to use it to his advantage.
You can see Lenny, he's on the back foot, but he's actually still throwing and scoring from the back foot. So whether the judges are looking at that, because they tend to look at people on the forward foot, but you still have to look at people on the back foot because he is actually scoring.
That's right, Wilson. Some good knees there. Right back to it. Good overhand right there by Wilson. Both competitors looking very impressive in their debut bouts.
He just needs to see he's just waiting that little bit too long there. He needs to get that knee firing straight away.
Wilson spun around Marrwick. Marrwick there leading in with the elbow right to the face of that already bleeding nose, as you can see. Inside leg kick.
Probably finding it a little bit more difficult to breathe now. There's actually quite a bit of blood there coming out of his nose. It makes it a little bit difficult to breathe from the nose, and then you're sort of having to breathe through the mouth. It makes it a little bit harder to breathe.
In the dying seconds of the third and final round, neither man giving up one bit. Clinched up now. Solid shots there by Wilson. There you have it, round number 3.
Yeah, Marrwick finished a little bit stronger in that round, but we'll see what the judges say, hey?
Very keen to see which way this one goes. It was quite a nice evenly matched contest. Great way to start off the Muay Thai Grand Prix event. Just a taste of all the great things to come here tonight. Of course, your third and final round, all thanks to Con Pembrey.
Bye.